Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video. This is all about my sewing space. So I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time, so I'm really excited to show you guys all around my little sewing area here. Before I get going, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everybody who left a comment or a like or a thumbs up on any of my previous videos. I really do appreciate it, and I read every single comment and hopefully get back to everybody if you do comment. If I haven't got back to you, please let me know. But I really do appreciate the time that, that people take to watch my vlogs and also to comment, so thank you very much. So without further ado, this is my sewing space. So first of all, this is my beautiful sign that my lovely husband bought me for my birthday last year, and I think it looks really good. This is actually in our shed, so it's actually not in our house at all. So I did a little walk through the garden. It's a gloriously sunny spring day, so I was happy enough to take a little stroll down here. So this was a lockdown project my husband did 2 years ago. In the first lockdown. We have a block built shed at the end of our garden, and it used to be just a shed full of all the usual things that sheds are filled with. But he divided it, so over this side is shed stuff, so it's garden furniture, bikes, the barbecue, paint tins, that kind of stuff. And this side next to me here, he's built a desk, and it has a little office space, so there's monitors and desk lamps and stuff like that. And then behind me is my little area. So I've got a big desk, and then I've got a little bit of storage over here. So he did a really great job, and it looks really great. And I'm very lucky to have it. I do appreciate that. I'm extremely lucky to have this space all to myself. So without further ado, I'll flip you around and we'll get going. So this is my beautiful sewing space. So you can see the storage over here. Then panning you around, here's my lovely new machine, all my threads, my overlocker, my beautiful sign, and then my iron, my ironing board, and my patterns. So I'll get into it now in a little bit more detail. So starting way over here, this is a little basket of all my pre-cut fabric that has got plans for it. So you'll hopefully see all of these now in vlogs very shortly. This is a little painting that I made, I think in the first lockdown, and we had a little kind of online painting session, which is really cute. So it's meant to be a beach. You can use your imagination. And up here, I've got a little bit of cross stitch. My friend actually gave this to me. She gave it to me about 5 or 6 years after we got married. She'd never got around to actually sewing it up, but I was actually perfectly happy to do it. So that was a great present. So I really enjoyed that. A little bit of leftover cuffing here. And then here's my storage. In here, I think I've got, I think it's interfacing and also my tailor's ham. In here, I've then got little other crafty bits. So I've got little bits of knitting, bits of cross stitch, things like that. And then coming down here, wheel this storage out of the way, I've got a little crochet lobster that my sister gave me a pattern to a couple of years ago. I didn't have any toy stuffing at the time, so I used stuff with tights. But yes, I think he's very cute. That was my first little crochet project. I really enjoyed doing it. I think he's really cute. Here's my old sewing machine. And then I've got just a load of these little boxes, and this is where I put all my bits and bobs. So let's see if I can do this one-handed. So in here is all my elastic in a lovely molten brown box. I do love their stuff. And then down here, molten brown again. And in here is all my the word has completely gone from me. Velcro. Goodness me. Velcro. So here's all my Velcro in here. And then coming down again, a little bit of a bookshelf here. So I've got my Tilly and the Buttons books, my manual. That's where I used to keep all my notes back in the day. Then my lovely aunt gave me these books years and years ago. They're very old sewing books, but they're absolutely fascinating. Then a little crochet book, one of the Sew Over books, a little Sew News magazine, which is very cool, and more things in here. Then this drawer I think is actually empty, but down the very bottom is all my printed patterns. So about 99% of the time I buy PDF patterns. I rarely buy printed patterns, but every now and then I do. So you can see that they all fit in here. So you can you can tell that I don't buy them very often, but that's where they live anyway, tucked away nicely. So I should have mentioned that this is a 4x1 Kallax unit from IKEA. Apologies if you can hear my rolly chair. So all of the furniture in here actually is from IKEA. So I think it's really handy. I think IKEA really knows its sewing market. I think, yeah, who doesn't have a good old Kallax unit? So moving along to this little rolly thingy, which is also from IKEA. And here's more little box of storage. There's beautiful macaroons, which I absolutely love. In here is all my sewing labels. So you can see my Kylie in the Machine advent calendar, a couple of little rosy cheeks. I kept these little things from the Kylie in the Machine advent calendar. I just think they're really cute. They're all the little doors. So all my little bits and bobs in here. I've got little iron-on patches that I've accumulated throughout the years. Random little pirate seagull, as you do. And then in here, close this over, and then in here I believe I have all my, if I can move these out of the way, this is a Butler's chocolates, lovely. All here is my various zips. Yeah, that's also a reminder that I need to buy an invisible zip foot for anybody watching one of my previous videos. These are my little folders, so I've got my Tilly and the Button stickers. These are all my notes for the vlog, so it's all the patterns that I've made recently, what size I used, all that kind of thing. So there's my new sewing planner. So if you can see here the Etty camisole, all my notes, which is really handy. And then in my other folder, keep it real, I have got all the patterns. So as I said before, I'm 99% of the time use PDF patterns. So I just print out the page with a picture and then I store them all in here. And then I can have a flick through all of them and see whatever takes my fancy and get a bit of inspiration. So yeah, these are ones that I've collected over the past 5-6 years. So it's nice to have a little flick through and see which ones I hadn't made recently and get inspired. So that's how I store those. Then coming down here, LK Bennett, lovely shoes. And in here I've got all my buttons, so a ton of those. They've just been given to me by family members or just gathered over the years. So yeah, that's a pretty impressive button stash. So I can usually find what I like in here. Then what else have I got in here? They're empty, I think. Coming down here, you can see that I really do enjoy these macaroons. And then the last one down here, what's this for? This is, I think this was more shower gel, I believe. If I can open this up, and this is my ribbons. So yeah, a ton of ribbons here. So love this. So yeah, most chocolate boxes, all kinds of things, they all get put in here because they do really come in handy. So this is very tricky to do one-handed. I hope you're not getting seasick. So I've got little flowers here, again from IKEA. And this is my lovely sewing box that I just cart around with me. It's very handy. This again is from IKEA. In here I've got my bobbins. And then in here I've got my little penguin from the advent calendar Beyond the Pink Doors, and he's so cute. And then point turner, chalk markers, and these little elastic things, new rotary blade cutters, pins, scissors, Pritt stick, dental floss for my gathering. So they're very handy to have there. Oh, stitch rippers, I should say. And then this opens up like this. And in here I use these as pattern weights. Then I've got my pinking shears, my regular scissors, rotary cutter, my pin cushion thing that I just put on my wrist. And then in here I've got little clips. So this was a lovely little tin my cousin gave me years ago. It was full of jellies. They were very, very tasty. But yeah, that's super cute. Then I've got a big pegboard here and lots of different cards and stuff from independent fabric companies. Very, very cute. All my overlocker threads, measuring tapes, scissors, a rouleau loop turner thingy that's lost its clasp, but doesn't really work. My overlocker tweezers, cleaning tools, all my different feet for my sewing machine, my French curve. So yes, a very, very handy little pegboard up here. And then here is my lovely new machine, my Juki. And I'll roll over, apologies for the noise, roll over my rolly chair. And here is all my threads. So running out of a couple of them, a few of them need replacing. I had a cup of tea earlier, that was very delicious. This is a little pot from IKEA, again, that I keep all my threads and little offcuts into, and then I move those to my closet core poof, which is now looking lovely and plump. Then onto my overlocker, and I couldn't find my other overlocker cone, so that's why one is grey. I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know how I managed to lose it. And then my beautiful sign, apologies for the glare. And then I do like this detail. So I got this from Susie from Thread Quarters, and it's just a little embroidery hoop that I put fabric. I made my birthday dress out of this last year, but it hides the plugs, which I think is really, really cute. So I think that's a fabulous idea. So I'll put him back Can I do it one-handed? Yes, I can. So I think that's a really, really cute idea. Moving down here, I've got my trusty iron, which is part and parcel of sewing. So a little Tefal one. Had that for years, but it's pretty good. And then this is a really nifty thing. This is my little ironing board. So it's a little Joseph mini ironing board. So you pop open this here, and then, oh dear. And then it flaps open. Again, one-handed, I apologize. So it flaps open, you can put it on your tabletop. And there we go. So I can do a little bit of pressing down here. It's obviously just a mini one, but it's absolutely perfect for pressing seams. And then moving across here, and this is how I store my patterns. I know it's not ideal, but it completely works for me. So these are all my PDF patterns printed out and then traced off if I need to, or just printed, and then I roll them up and I tie them with the fabric of the garment that I made with it, so I can tell instantly what it is. So I know this is my peppermint jumpsuit I made recently. This was my So Frugal tulip tee. You can see here that's my most recent make. That's my Fraser cardigan, Love Notions. Then this is my Brumby skirt. What's this? This was a lovely top last summer. My Jara sweater here, and this is how I store them, and it just really works for me. So again, a little IKEA box, and I do go through this every now and then, and if I'm not using the pattern, I just recycle the paper. But this is definitely how it works for me. I take them out, unroll them, roll them back the opposite direction to make them a little bit flatter, maybe iron them if I need to, but yeah, it seems to work for me. So they're just all the patterns I have on the go now. I might do a little check of them over the next week or so and see if I can get rid of any, because more patterns now. I'll be filling this again shortly, but that's how I store my patterns. And last but certainly not least, this is my fabric. So again, a lovely IKEA box. And in here, I basically have all my fabric. There is nothing in here that is greater than a metre. So this is just odds and sods of all the projects I've been working on. So you can see a little bit of my rainbow, my Fraser cardigan. This was my dungarees last year. That was the poof jumpsuit, a little bit of fleece. So you can see a little Gruffalo peeking out here. So this basically is just all my offcuts, which is really, it's kind of in some order. I know vaguely where things are, but it's great just to go for a rummage if I'm doing some sort of crafty project. There's bits of woven in here, there's bits of fleece, bits of jersey down the bottom. There's a little bit of lining here, a little bit of dinosaur fabric, a little bit of cable knit, and then wovens down here. You might recognize that from last summer. I loved that. That was my Roscoe blouse last year. So yeah, it's only just small little bits and pieces of fabric in here, but it's really handy to just have a little rummage through. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me on that whistle-stop tour of my beautiful sewing space. I am very, very lucky to have it. I should mention what I'm wearing today, and this is the Made It Patterns Hug Hoodie crew neck with the beautiful rainbow cuffing, which I'm absolutely living in these days. I love this pattern so much. I'll link to it below where I go into this pattern in more detail. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really do appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below how you guys organise your patterns and your fabric and your sewing bits and bobs. I think it's a really, really interesting topic. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. And I'll be back to you very shortly with my April Makes video. So thank you very, very much, everybody. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye.